All right, everybody, welcome back to Friends for Life's Midweek Mini. Thanks for tuning back in.
Yellow.
If you can, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. If you are listening on a podcasting platform, leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. And today we got some more of tips than news, I will say. And this has to deal with something that I did not have as a child, and it is learning how to talk to people with disabilities, teaching your kids about it. And this is an article that comes from someone with a disability explaining, how they feel. And they're basically saying, when you're in public and you see a kid with a disability, or a kid sees someone with a disability, dear goodness, sometimes grabbing your kid up and telling them to be quiet, is actually makes them feel worse than just acknowledging it, because it's pretty obvious when someone has a disability. Sometimes you can tell. So this person goes on to write, and we'll put an article link below so you can check out the whole article. We'll just cover a little bit of it here. First up, they're saying that you should just acknowledge the disability. They're saying, I'm not the elephant in the room. You can say the word disabled. If it's something your child has not seen before, it's natural for them to have questions. Ignoring the topic can lead to the fear of a disability, and a lack of education and awareness are the biggest contributors to discrimination. Mm-hmm. So, Tony, you as a father of 5, how do you handle this scenario?
I put him right in the mess of it. I had that luxury growing up to be able, I didn't know a difference.
Yes.
I just thought some people looked different, some people acted different, and that was that. Thanks to my Uncle Larry and my family growing and working in this field. But it's exactly like the article said. You can't sit there and almost stigmatize things by acting like they're not there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be real. If I go down the street and I see somebody missing an arm, I'm going to take a double take.
Yeah.
And it's natural because it is part of us. Now, do we need to be rude about it? No. And I think that's what our kids need to understand, is how to approach those things. My kids, as you know, Paul, they ask a lot of questions.
Yes,
a lot.
They do.
And I get to the point where I want them to be inquisitive in a sense and to seek out answers. So it's okay to answer. I just get more irritated by having to answer them all the time. But put them in there. Ask the questions. There's a cool show on Disney, on Disney Plus, and Marvel did it. But it's about kids and stuff who have developmental differences, and they're still accomplishing great things, doing great things. There was a gentleman on there, he was blind but playing football, man.
Yeah.
Tripped me out. I was like, goodness, I wasn't even that good when I played, and I could see and everything. So if we are truthful though, I see a big difference than 10, 12 years ago. Even in our school and speaking arrangements, and I start asking these kids, what do they know about developmental differences and stuff? They are widely experienced in a sense. Now, does that mean that everybody is? No, but I think maybe even helping in the schools, make it a little more known and knowledgeable would actually help create some of that, break that stigma.
Yeah, and it's good that you brought up television shows about that, because it's saying the next part of the article is saying normalizing disability. Find TV shows or books with disabled characters. This helps to remove the stigma and shows that is a normal part of society. There are many great books for kids that feature a disabled character, including Celine's New Splints, Fun in the Sun, Haley's Friends, Jacob's Traffic Jam, and My Brother is an Astronaut. Mm-hmm. These books are a great way to open up conversation about disability in a way that children can understand.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. Giving them material to kind of to understand it a little bit. And your actions shape the way that kids view disabilities. So you act weird, they're going to act weird about it. And so the article goes on to say there have been countless times where a child has been told off for staring at me or dragged out of the way when I've been in their path. I appreciate the good intentions, but what does that teach them? Should they keep away from disabled people? Are we taboo? Taking the time to explain why they might need to move or why that man has one arm, which you brought up, will help children to know we are not to be feared. The Disability Equality Charity Scope has a campaign called End the Awkward, which uses humor to highlight how uncomfortable people can be around disabilities. The campaign offers suggestions on how to deal with uncomfortable feelings and has tips on appropriate use of language. And Tony, as I've seen multiple times, your children have no fear of people with disabilities.
Zero.
Come to family events and playing softball and jumping up on wheelchairs, and they're like, "Take me for a ride, man."
That's what I was just about to mention, man. I remember the first time they asked Noah, like, "Hey, Noah, can we ride on your chair?" And he was like, "As long as you don't break it."
That's a tough gamble there.
Yeah, it is, man, because they break everything, even themselves.
They're pretty good at that. So. And lastly here, we've got, just saying being disabled is not a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's part of how the world operates. It doesn't always mean someone is incapable. We're disabled by a society and the barriers put in our way. If you can't walk but need to enter a building, stairs are going to disable you. If there was a lift, you'd be able to access the building. This is known as the social model of disability. With the right support, disabled people can still live a normal life, and this is an important sentiment to explore with kids. If the next generation is knowledgeable about disability, disabled children can grow up in a truly inclusive society. And I'll tell you what, we got a long way to go on that one.
Yeah,
for sure. But this is a great article. I'll put a link down below in the show notes or on the YouTube channel. As always, we want to thank you guys for listening or watching this Midweek Mini. If you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel down below, or if you are listening, head over to iTunes or Stitcher and leave the podcast a rating or review. That helps us get more visibility, and we're trying to just put the world and the word out there about disabilities. Also, check out our other shows. We got the full-length Friends for Life podcast. We got the Midweek Mini, which you're listening to right now. We have Medical Mondays with Dr. Craig Escuday, and our newest show, Nursing in No Time, which we got new episodes coming out here soon. And we are hiring right now. If you would like to work with us here in Northwest Ohio at Friends for Life Residential Care, Tony, tell them where they can find out about that.
Go to friendsforliferc.com. You got all of our stuff there. You'll be able to see the podcast and all of that fun stuff. But if you hit apply, it'll give you everything that you need to get on and come on board. We're looking for dedicated, qualified people, but if you're new to this, we definitely have a lot of trainings to help make you better, make you more humane. In a sense. But we have a partnership with Open Future Learning, and they do a lot of awesome trainings to help people who, especially if you've been in the field for quite a long time. I think that sometimes we overthink and we underdo. So now it's time to overdo and underthink and just be there for humanity.
All right, so thank you all for watching or listening, and we'll see you next week.
Woo.